I felt like I just did what my team needed me to do, what the coaches needed me to do to get this win, and just executed very well. The mentality coming into the second half was just being more aggressive. I felt like we played a little flat and slow in the first half, and I just felt like what we do best is when we run it out in transition. So I just felt like me being the point guard, I had to take the initiative to just push the ball up and do what we do best. I feel like we hit more shots when we playing our game. So like when we're playing our game, we're just unbeatable. Just keep being aggressive, attacking what the defense gives us, and just playing our game.
We always give God the glory. Praise the Lord for the win, for the opportunity. A lot of weather and a lot of cancellations, and so just getting an opportunity to get back on the floor. We're excited about that. I think we've got to buy into our identity. We gotta know who we are, and we've got to be willing to play that way for 40 minutes. I think today was a tale of that. I think you saw us in the first half. I told my team at halftime, I feel like we played the way King wanted to play, and clearly, I told them I think every team, there's 15 teams in this league, the other 14 teams in this league are better at what they do than we are, right? So at some point, we've got to decide that we're going to lock into playing the style that we're best at, and regardless of what the other team is doing. I feel like we morph a little bit based on what we're seeing from our opponent, and we've got to be that team that locks in, particularly here on this back stretch of conference play, to playing the way we play. We are a up-tempo team. We play really well when we can play fast, when we can get the ball up the floor, and we can attack downhill, when we can share the ball in transition and let it fly a little bit. So we've got to begin to buy into that and play that way for 40 minutes. We were 0 for 12 at halftime from 3. But I believe that a lot of that is because we weren't in rhythm, because we weren't playing fast enough. I think we're a rhythm basketball team, and I think we get into our rhythm when we have an opportunity to get stops defensively and rebounds and then push the ball up the floor. And so even the looks that we got in the first half, I didn't think were bad looks, but they came kind of in the half-court set where we're going to tend to probably struggle a little bit more than we do when we have the opportunity to get out and run. So I thought the tempo was the difference. But again, trying to convince our kids that tempo begins on the defensive side of the ball, because you can't run until you get stops and rebounds and have an opportunity to push the ball up the floor. We've got several really good guards. And one of the things that we bank on is somebody's going to be on, right? I'm not sure in 17 games if we played very many games where everyone was off. There may have been a couple out there, but for the most part, we're going to typically be able to find somebody. So we actually talk in practice. We use the terminology, feed the hot hand. And it might be different every night. It might be different Wednesday from tonight. It might be different next weekend. But Kenny did a really good job, and I thought our kids did a really good job of recognizing once she got going, of continuing to find her and continue to get her open looks. Croskey is just that kid that understands what we need in the moment. She has wisdom beyond her years. She's got a really high IQ. And so she does a really good job of kind of picking and choosing her spots, knowing when we need her to attack downhill, knowing when she needs to kick, and knowing when she needs to score. And I thought, again, tonight she did a really good job of that. We've talked coming into this game about wanting to pressure more. We probably played more full court pressure in this game than we have all season. And that's part of the mindset. I think that when we start games up in our zone or our man pressure, it puts us in a little bit more of an aggressive mindset in the half court. So I think just being able to talk about the fact that we needed to get ourselves going defensively. Our kids did a great job coming out of the locker room of starting the half, pressuring the ball more, getting into gaps, coming up with turnovers, and then obviously allowing us to get out and run the floor and score.
Yeah, got to thank my teammates first. They got me to the situation. Thank my coaches for preparation, for us for practicing. Believing in me to do my talents to be the best me I can be. It was a very big key. We had a recipe. We had 4 things, and we beat all 4 things. Our coaches, they're hard on us every day. We practice. We come to work every day. My teammates, we come to work every day. I want to shout out Latavian Lawrence. He had a great game. Horace Jakes, he hasn't been here. He has been stuff going on. He had a great game. We all just played great individually. As a team, pretty great. We were one of the most athletic teams in the conference, but we have to put pride and put effort and heart, and that's what rebounding is, and that's what our coach preaches us every day, and that's what we got to do. Our coaches always say stay calm, take one possession at a time. We stack one brick by brick every day and just keep going, keep battling.
Talked about a couple things, and we did a good job. We talked about paint points, so we wanted under 30. They were at 28. Talked about offensive rebounds. We wanted them at 10. They were at 12. Close. Free throw attempts, we were a little off. Wanted them at 20, 24. They made 3-pointers. We won. We wanted them at 12, under 12. They were at 10. So it ends up being a win. You know, we got 3 of the 4 and kept the other one close. These guys came in today and they were able to stack a couple days in practice and able to replicate today. I'm just really proud defensively. I'm just thrilled defensively. I think they did a great job of what we are asking them to do defensively. Is not easy. It's not an easy task, and they, for the most part, did a really good job. A couple, you know, they set 36%. If they don't hit those 3 threes late, it's probably sitting a little lower. So, I mean, it's still part of the game, but that one's a tough one to guard, right? When they're just coming down and trying to get a couple of shots to fall. We just talked about what we wanted to do to have success as far as the ingredients, and that would give us a successful recipe. And at the half, we were winning all 4. And so I knew if you could replicate that in the second half, you were going to win no matter what.